guys, Brian here, Stogie Review. We got Ben Lee with us. We got Justin behind the camera. We're with Megha Malagatti, with representing SD Dupont. She's going to show us all of the really sexy, amazing stuff that they have. It's shiny. It's wonderful. I don't even know what to say. Just tell us about it.
Well, I know that you guys are a really huge fan of the Disney partnership. You can see the Darth Vader over here. So let's start with this product over here. In fact, the first time I met Disney, it was incredible. The head of the Disney Consumer Products, we had a meeting one day. The meeting was set up in 5 days. They said, okay, Megha, so what can you do? We said, what do you want us to do? We said, okay, let's do it. And that was it. And then in 1 month, we started working on projects. And the first agreement that we signed was for the Star Wars 7 with them. We came out with the X-Wings and the TIE Fighter pens. And then we decided, why don't we go a bit further? Because the tagline of Star Wars is May the Force be with you. And how do we bring Force into the products? And that's when we decided to come out with some innovative products which could probably, why not, levitate. And if you look at the pen here, it is actually levitating.
Look at that.
And that was the first ever luxury levitating pen made. And
I didn't know that was a category. I'm learning something new here.
And that's when we chose Yoda and Darth Vader. So you have the light side and the dark side of the Force. Exactly. So that was the Disney partnership, which also continued with the Marvel, which is next door over there.
Okay.
So you have the Iron Man, Thor, and Hulk collections. So these are all made in our division called Haute Création, which is extremely high, because we always, in this division, we kind of partner with the artisans that are specialized in specific expertise. So for example, if it's a sculptor, then he sculpts the pen. If they are engravers, they engrave the lighter. If they are jewelers, they make filigree technique, using the filigree technique some of the products. So it depends, and these are really, really high priced because each product takes anywhere between 800 to, 5,000 hours to make one product.
Wow.
Which is a lot of time. And then if we come to our bread and butter, which is the catalog products, which is where we start from.
Okay.
We go over here. We have the normal mini jets, maxi jets, the slims, which fill in the catalog. And in the catalog, we have this division, which is specifically for cigar smokers, which I personally love. The story goes 3 years ago. Our president, Alain Crevet, he challenged us saying, I want to look at a lighter which I can use while I'm smoking, because he smokes only cigars and he doesn't smoke cigarettes. So we decided, okay, what can we do? And the challenge was to have both torch flame and soft flame in one lighter. And that's when we decided to, come out with a complicated lighter, like Complication Watch. Right. So it had a volt in it with numbers and codes. So you had to apply the codes to open this complicated lighter. It was quite hefty and heavy. And when you started it, it had 2 flames, a torch and a soft flame. Now the second challenge was he wanted to take it with him everywhere, because this was quite heavy and big, and we had to make it compact. And that's when we came out with the new Le Grand Dupont. So if you look at the lighter, you start it, it has 2 beautiful soft flames, and then when you push the trigger, it goes into torch. So you can heat your cigar, and then if you want to quickly burn your cigar, you can use a torch flame, and even outdoors.
That's what I like about that. Cause I've had this one for quite a while. It's a soft flame, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And I love it, but sometimes I can't use it because it's a soft flame.
Exactly.
So at the show, I bought one of those.
Oh, you ended up buying one of those?
Yes,
Do you like it?
The blue.
Yeah.
I haven't got it yet because it's at my home shop in Biloxi, Mississippi, the cigar shop. So he's got the blue one and the brown one. He claimed the brown one, so I get the blue one.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I love those, and I also like the
maxi jets.
The maxi jets
Yes.
are gorgeous with that the burst.
The sunburst,
color burst.
yeah, the color burst
is
effect.
lovely. Yeah.
We started this effect with the partnership we had in Fender
Yes,
We
I
start
remember
with the
thinner one.
sunburst.
Right.
Exactly, the sunburst
Yeah,
effect.
because that's on a lot of the guitars.
Exactly.
Like the Telecaster was famous for having the sunburst.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And following that, we got inspired by the burst effect, and we
Yes.
came up with the red cherry burst, the midnight blue burst, and the tobacco burst, which is the brown one.
Yeah, the tobacco burst
Yeah.
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that's a traditional coloring on the Telecasters.
True.
And even some of the Gibson
Yes.
Gibson guitars,
Guitars
which is
have it.
the arch nemesis of Fender, but it's a tobacco burst.
The tobacco
Sunburst is what they
burst,
call
yeah.
it, but it's the same thing. So that's really
Yeah.
classic. I like
Yeah.
that.
And we also wanted to make something affordable to have rather than the complication lighter, which was priced at $40,000. So these start, by $1,000 and in between $1,000 to $1,500,
Yeah.
which is quite affordable for a
Yeah.
cigar smoker.
Yeah.
And plus, the way we apply the lacquer on it is really, really different. I don't know, are you aware of the lacquering process on how we do it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Whenever Alain explained it to it
Yeah.
in the booth the other day, he was showing with the lighter.
Oh,
that
this is a
talks
beautiful
about it.
story because
Yeah.
this is the exact same technique that we have when, the Japanese or the Chinese or the Southeast Asian artists used to use 200 years ago. So if you look at all the excavation sites today, when they dig out the wooden handcrafts which are lacquered, and then you see all the stuff around it is gone, but you have the lacquered parts still alive and still new. So this is exactly the same technique that we apply on our lighters. So we actually bleed the trees, the sap. We don't bleed all the trees because we need also give them time to recover, and we plant new trees. So we bleed, we take out the sap, and then we use fragments that is very specific to France, because these fragments also were used by Monet and Van Gogh in the paintings before.
Yeah.
So these are the natural fragments that come in. So you hand mix it with a secret formula that only our master lacquerer knows. And then they apply it by hand, they paint it, and they cook it 6 times. So you apply once, you cook it. The second time you apply, you cook it the second time. And then after 6 times, you get that effect on the lighter.
And is that only on the Legrand's? Or
It's
is it
on
also
all
on
the
Mexican?
lacquered. It's
Oh,
on
really?
all the
Okay.
lacquered products.
Okay.
So this is not lacquered.
That's not
because
lacquered.
This is not
Okay.
lacquered. Any of the lacquered products that you see, the black, the brown, and the
Yes.
blue, they're all hand painted with natural lacquer. So if you put a lighter and dig it out,
It's already been fired 6 times. I mean, what's a little bit more fire going to do, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's already set. Yeah.
it's the same on the pens. That's why when Alain does a test by fire and you try
Right.
to burn the pen, it doesn't burn because of the lacquer.
I hadn't seen that before that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's really
Oh,
impressive,
yes.
but it
And-
makes a lot of sense.
Yes, and plus the lacquer is a living ingredient. So if you have some scratches on it, over a period of time, it heals itself.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't know that.
Yes, it's completely natural, and it has these microorganisms inside that live. So,
And I
yeah,
also like the companion cutters with the Max Jets with the burst on it too.
Yes.
I love that. Because I don't know, when I buy something nice like the SD Dupont, I kind of want to have a matching set.
of course.
So,
of course.
like I have, a beautiful the color burst.
Yeah.
I want the cutter to be a color burst as well. So I
Yeah.
like how the SD Dupont has done both. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We love this collection as well. We're going to expand it a little bit more by this year end. Yeah. So that's about our cigar universe.
Okay.
And then we have other collaborations like the James Bond over
yeah.
here. So we started with the Spectre a couple of years ago.
Okay.
This was one of the key products which was also invented by our artisans. If you look at the lighter, it's a very special lighter because the other thing that is very, very special to our products, unlike any other lighters in the world, is it's a single block of metal. So you
Oh.
actually take a whole block, you chop it, and then you chop the cap, and then you scoop the metal out, and then you fix the mechanism inside. So it's not, you have like 6 sides of metals and you try to glue them or weld them. So it's actually a single block it's made. And hence, when we do that, it's very difficult to place a bullet hole in between the body of the lighter. because you have the gas tank over there and you don't want the gas tank to leak all the time. And that's when our engineers, our brilliant engineers in Faberge, in our atelier, they ended up inventing a hole over here and a secret compartment, because of course he is, at His Majesty's Secret Service.
Yes.
So I don't know, you can put your cyanide pill for James Bond, or no judgment, whatever you can, fill it in with, whatever you need to put in there. And we came out with the first bullet hole lighter with the specs. So this was something
very unique. I've never seen anything like that.
Yes.
I remember they were telling us how hard it was to actually engineer that where we worked with center cut out of it.
Yes. It was quite difficult, but then we managed to get. And now we are trying quite a few things with it, and it works very well. Different shapes and different things. And you'll see what's going to come next with the James Bond, because we're kind of, elaborating on this concept, and that's the new James Bond. Sorry. So this is a new James Bond collection that we came out with this year. We are extending it at the end of, this is already in stores right now. We're extending it with exactly the same concept of the Sunburst. We're coming out with the matching maxi jets and cigar cutters for the James Bond before Christmas. Yeah. And over here you can see, of course, the famous golden gun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which was used because the entire collection is dedicated to the most famous James Bond, Sir Sean Connery. Of course, he's the best James Bond ever. Yeah, exactly. It's all based on the vintage Goldfinger posters. It was a brilliant thing because we were sitting with the James Bond team, me with our creative director. We were going through pages and pages of the historical pictures and drawings of James Bond and trying to get inspired on what we could come out with. And then our creative director picked this pattern with just a simple 007 logo, keeping it vintage, so you have it in gold. And then you have the same version, which is pretty much the same way of making the lacquer, but it's a very ancient technique called as under lacquer guilloche. So you engrave the product, you apply the lacquer, and then you give an effect of in-depth 3D with a varnish that we apply on top. This and even that kind of lacquer nobody else does. No other brand has this expertise. So this is for James Bond. The most amazing thing that we're going to come out by the year end, before Christmas, is when we are talking to our consumers, they always say, it's a brilliant lighter, but we are very scared to lose it. We don't want to carry it with us.
Yeah, that's what I'm very careful where I take mine.
Exactly. So now we're coming out with a very limited quantity of James Bond, a connected lighter, which can connect via Bluetooth to your phone. And then when you move away, probably you can define your distance. When you move away from the lighter, your phone will start ringing, so that you know that you have left your lighter behind and you have to pick it up. Yeah. So in the same, the bullet hole area and the secret message, it's replaced by a compartment in plastic, of course, because you can't put metal. Through the metal, you can't get signals, so we have to use a plastic module. So it comes with this is the only plastic module in the lighter. We never use plastic. So, and then this connects to your phone, and it also has a network. So tomorrow, because it's Bluetooth, it's not GPS. So what, for example, you leave it in a restaurant, and then how do I try to find it if I want to? So this application creates a network of this application users, whether they are using a lighter or also we are coming out with a wallet. So this wallet also has an option by the year end to come with a connection inside. It's a kind of credit card that goes inside, and either you can find your wallet with your phone, or you can find your phone with your wallet.
Really?
The reverse, exactly. So this and this, so anybody who buys any of this product is on the network, and you can find your stuff through the network. So even if there is no GPS, you can still find the last location of the product. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, for Android and for Apple. Yes. So this is going to be out before Christmas for James Bond. There are only 300 pieces in the world for James Bond, but for the catalog item, it will come in April for the entire world. Yeah. So that's about James Bond. You're saying something, no?
Now, is that going to be exclusively for James Bond, or is that going to be something you add on to other lighters and products in the future?
This year it's going to be exclusively for James Bond. For next year it's going to be on our products. Okay. We are trying it on even on our other products to see how we can fit it in with the mini jets and the maxi jets and the Defi Extreme, which is also quite good, because at the end of the day, $150 lighter is also a bit, it's expensive.
Exactly. Yeah. You definitely don't want to leave it anywhere.
You don't want to leave it anywhere, exactly. So this is about the James Bond. Then we have many more other collaborations. For example, we started last year our art icons with Vitruvian Man. And this year we continue the art icons. We also had Andy Warhol and all the other artists long time before in our collections. Now we are reintroducing, of course, the great Picasso. So we are coming out with the second edition of Picasso after 20 years. The first edition was in 1998, where he used to be a chain smoker and he used to always use a Dupont when he was smoking. So one day he just took a nail from his studio and he just started carving the lighter with his nail. So that became the first edition of Picasso, and he gifted it to his kids. And then now his kids, one of his sons, with him we have started a new collaboration, which is Le Profil de Femme, which is one of the favorite engravings of Picasso as well, a line drawing. And it comes in lighters, the slim, it's all sold out. The sets, all of them have been sold out. Now continuing this, because the family loved it so much, they said, wow, this is incredible. After 20 years when we do, a re-collaboration, it worked very well. Why don't we continue it with another edition? And then we thought what, in today's world is really needed. One of the biggest thing is world peace. So we decided to come out with the symbol that Picasso created for world peace. In 1946, after the Second World War, he was commissioned to come out with a drawing of a symbol that would represent all the countries that vote for world peace. And that's when he decided to take the dove as a symbol of peace with an olive branch in its beak. So the olive branch comes from the ancient Greek symbolism of the royal family, because olive trees and olives were equal to gold at that time. And their crowns were made out of olive branches, exactly. So he decided to put that into the beak of the dove and to create this as a peace symbol for the world. And this is what we have now from them. As a second edition will be out just with the extension of James Bond and the Picasso together before Christmas with the connected lighter.
The fuel that we use to put in the lighters, like for the line 2s or whatnot, that changed, did it not? Because it's not the capsules you screw in anymore, is it? No. Didn't they change that?
It's the same. It's the same in the new packaging. So it's a butane propane. Yes, it's a new packaging because it's easier to screw into each of the lighters and to push it in. Yes, the previous one was a little difficult to manipulate. With the small gases, every single time you would lose the amount of gas inside. So this time we made sure that it fills 5 times completely your lighter, and you can reuse it. It's not like, you can, once it's done, then you waste the amount of gas.
That's the only problem that I have with mine now is I usually take it and I put it in the freezer for a couple hours. Then I take it out and put it in, screw it in. So it has a temperature equilibrium. Yes. So when it goes in, it's already cold, so we'll pull in more of the gas, and there's not an air gap in there. But every time I unscrew it, it would hiss out a bunch of excess fuel that I hated to waste that. So I'm glad to hear that now.
Now we have resolved the problem. Yeah. So that's all the new things that are here. And now for the grand finale.
No, I mean, if Megha told you all the stories, frankly, I think you're the best ambassador you could have. But we know what we love to do is we get together as a small team and we try to, with our artisans in our little factory, little workshop of Faberge, we try to create every year 1 or 2 exceptional pieces. So we give them like no limits. Be creative and come with something which are going to blow our minds away. So this year, they got their inspiration. They wanted to do something French. Sometimes we do stuff inspired by all over the world, but they wanted France. So we said, okay, in 1783 was the first ever flight of a human in a hot air balloon.
Oh, okay.
It was required by the King of France, Louis XIV. So it happened in the gardens of Versailles Castle. And they had 2 brothers called Montgolfier brothers who created this hot air balloon, and it elevated about like 10, 20 meters, not very high, but at least, somebody was flying in the air for the first time. We said, okay, why don't we try to replicate that with something entirely mechanical, automatic, and this thing is the exact replica of the hot air balloon, entirely done in bronze, gold finish. That was the emblem of the king, actually. Here you have also the emblem of the crown of France, and these are all of the
constellations, the zodiac constellations.
Oh, those are okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The original balloon had the zodiac constellations and much more details because it was woven in silk and gold threads and stuff like that. So over here we have
1783,
yeah,
and you can see Montgolfier brothers. Voilà, that was the original. You see,
flight of the hot air balloon.
And then we transformed it into exact same replica, same color, and then you can show.
And then the magic.
Magic.
I think I see some tracks on the inside of it. Oh wow! Look at that.
We come with the remotes.
And then,
Unveil your.
yeah, you don't have to manually do it. It comes with the remote.
So that's for storing your lighter.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a beautiful piece for your desk or whatever.
Yeah.
Full solid gold lighter with over 1 carat of diamond paving.
Oh my goodness.
And you have our exceptional blason in the front and
Le Roi Soleil.
Le Roi Soleil,
And the crown
crown of the
France.
French king.
Look at that. That's the detail on that's
So-
amazing.
And this is the front, and you can open the light here.
So this comes for the modest price of €250,000.
Yeah.
Only that. Okay.
Yeah, only that, yeah. It's only one piece. I mean, we actually sold the most expensive lighter, the Guinness Book of Records, like 3-4 years back to a Chinese gentleman for €500,000. It was also a Louis XIII replica with the crown of France and 41 carat of blue sapphire. But we wanted to have something which would be, even more original, and the second most expensive lighter, so that's the one.
We didn't want to lose the second position either.
That's incredible.
Voilà, so it was this piece of this, only one will be,
It's an amazing piece of craftsmanship.
Oh, it took only 3,000 hours actually to craft this,
Only 3,000.
and 2 years to arrive with the mechanical, solution, because it had a lot of constraints. We were thinking of really levitating the hot air balloon, maybe next time.
Like magnetically or something like that.
Yeah.
Potentially.
because we have, you showed the levitating pen already.
Yeah, we started with that. That gave us the inspiration for this.
I'm still waiting to see the Indiana Jones themed stuff.
I remember, yeah, we talked
Right,
about
we
that.
talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I was hoping to see that. I was looking around like, it's not there, but.
Well, maybe, just to unveil, for example, we started to, of course, brainstorm for next year and the following year. And one of the ideas, because sometimes we are not even sure, we start with 2 or 3 ideas and some materialize and some we say, technically it's too difficult. So in 2019 will be 60 years, 50 years, 50 years of the man on the moon.
Oh, okay. That's significant.
In July. We are thinking, okay, how can we make something which flies and with, including lighter, pen, etc. So they are working on a few directions. So that's one of the ideas. But it could be, Indiana Jones came also. We talked about Ridley Scott. You remember Alien?
Yeah, the Alien.
Oh, Alien. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So we have 2, 3 ideas, and then we let our team brainstorm and work on technical solution, and then they come, and then we say, okay, that works, that doesn't work. Kill this one, kill this one.
But next year you would see for sure the Apollo.
Okay.
Most probably, yeah. I hope it works.
It's working.
It is working?
Yeah, it's working. It's
Okay,
working.
all right.
With
Then
real moon dust in it.
Real moon dust. Okay. How did you come by real moon dust?
We just went to the moon to get
Did
it.
you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we
Artisans on the moon.
Yeah.
put in the lacquer.
Yeah. So
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate it. Everything is beautiful. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. Our pleasure
Thank you
always
so much.
to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much. So that's the Iron Man.
That's really nice. Get the Hulk back
The
there.
Hulk back there, the Captain America over here. And this is a collection that we did with Cyril Briza. So he did the entire Havana Traveler case and a beautiful humidor, all in alligator.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it's one of the beautiful pieces I've ever seen. And it doesn't have cedarwood inside, it has mahogany, which is varnished.
Oh,
Which is
interesting.
beautiful, yeah. And it protects cigars as good or maybe even better than cedarwood. And then we
Peacock
have
is gorgeous. That is amazing.
the Peacock. This is an ancient technique called Filigree.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult because you know, if you see, I can move the gold in my hand. It is so delicate, and it's something that is a lost art. Not many artisans do in today's world. Even if you look at the Faberge eggs, the ancient Faberge eggs, they used to use this technique to do the eggs. And we have used the same with one of our artisans from Peru called Luis Alberto, and he did this for us with a Peacock lighter.
Oh, look at that.
So on the front you have the face with the diamond eyes, and the same with lapis lazuli stones.
Wow.
That goes
Ancient
over here.
stone, they used to be highly traded. It was a highly prized stone back in
Lapis
ancient times.
lazuli was
Yeah. Yeah.
now it's kind of affordable, cheaper than diamond.
Yeah.
Yes, this is another very interesting piece because it was for the Spartans. We got inspired by the Spartans, the Trojan horse. You know?
Trojan horse.
There you go. And then you have, yes, you have a lighter inside,
Yeah. Spartan lighter.
a Spartan lighter. Exactly.
Or Achilles.
Yes.
So what is Dragon Steampunk? That's an interesting concept.
So we were talking a lot about how to renew our dragon collection. The first dragon collection we came out was a very traditional Year of the Dragon for Chinese consumers. We made 8 of them in diamond, 88 of them without diamonds, and we sold out all of them. And we wanted to modernize the dragon for other consumers. And in today's world, I think people are, coming back into the mood of steampunk and a little bit of mechanical things. And of course, men love mechanical stuff to handle. So we decided to make the Dragon Steampunk. And that was the inspiration, where you have the pen with all the details, of the mechanical parts on it.
The gears and whatnot.
The gears, exactly everything. And then the lighter, which is actually resting on a dragon, and this is amazing. So you have all the parts and the dragon on the lighter. The next challenge we have is to really make the dragon fly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have a levitating dragon.
Exactly.
You need a levitating dragon, possibly
Yes.
with moon dust.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, a moon dragon.
Moon dragon. There you go.
And we'll have a phoenix around it as well. So hopefully. Voila, so that's our artisan collections that we have. Oh, I almost forgot about this. Have you seen this last year?
Well, Darren,
We did see
You did?
it. Yeah.
You did see it, okay. Then you know about that.
But I'll put it in the video anyway.
It's a beautiful product. In fact, we had a incident in the United States when we sent it packed this way. They thought it was an actual gun.
Oh,
and they
wow.
blocked it in the customs, and we couldn't get it out for almost a month. So
Stones
Yeah.
of Fortune. Some really great
these
stuff.
are beautiful. These are the stones according to, the stones of your year, the birth year. You can select. We have around 16 different stones of fortune collection, which we have made until now. Rock crystal, chalcedonia, labradorite, all the stones. And we continue the collection every year.